Have you ever felt overwhelmed? Have you looked at your to-do list and you just cannot figure out how you are going to get all these things done? You look at it and the beginning and the end, you don't know where you should start. If you have, then this episode is for you. Hi, and welcome to Transform One More, the place where together we seek positive, lasting change, one life at a time. I am Ayoola, and on this episode, we talk about a topic that has affected us all in some way or form. We speak about overwhelm. What do you do when you are just feeling overwhelmed? I share some tips that I hope can help. The first thing that I think is useful when you're dealing with that feeling of overwhelm is to ask for and be willing to accept help. Now, this is a big one because I know you like to get things done and you want to be the one to do it. But if you don't ask for and you don't accept help, then you don't always give yourself that leverage to actually get all your tasks accomplished. It actually reminds me of a story that I heard about a little boy who was trying to move a huge rock in his back garden. And he tried with all his might, and he just could not move this rock. His dad, who was not too far off, came over to him and he said, "Son, do you need a hand? Do you want some help?" And the little boy, he's a proud fella and he wanted to be a big boy. So he said, oh, no, Daddy, I'm okay. I can get this done. Dad said, okay. And he left him for a bit, but he stayed close enough just in case he didn't want this little boy to hurt himself. And the little fella continued and he tried with all his might. And he just could not get the stone to move. His father came over again, said to him, "Son, are you using all the strength available to you?" By now, little fella was tired and he said, "Yes, Daddy, I'm using all of my strength." Father asked him again, "Son, are you sure you're using all the strength available to you?" "Yes, Daddy," he said, the tears almost coming down his face at this point. I am using all my strength." Father paused for a minute and then he said to him, "Son, you aren't using all the strength available to you because I am here and you have not used me." The boy then understood that all the strength available to him was combined with his and his father's strength, and together they were able to move the stone. Sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, we think that we have to do it all within our strength. We think that we must have the power and the ability to do it all. But our strength and all the strength that's available to us comes from those who love us, those who care, from our team. It even comes from service providers. All that strength that we have available to us sometimes is coupled with the strength of others. So that's tip number one. And that kind of leads me into tip number two. Tip number two in dealing with overwhelm is that we must be ready and able and willing sometimes to delegate. To delegate tasks that we really do not have to do. We might want to do it. We might think we are capable of doing it. We might even enjoy doing it, but really we don't have to do that particular task. John Maxwell, famous leadership guru, he said that if there is a task that can be done by someone else, at least 80% as good as you would have done it yourself, then you delegate that task. Look at your lists, and if there are things on that list that really you personally do not have to do, and you have others who you can delegate that task to, why not share that responsibility with them and give them the opportunity to help contribute to the overall aim of what you're trying to achieve? And tip number 3 is to plan. Plan for productivity. I remember now I have 3 children. I remember when they were small and I was going hither, thither and yon and feeling really overwhelmed and exhausted at times. And I had to stop and I had to ask myself, am I controlling my day or is my day controlling me? I didn't know where I was going, whether I was going left or right at times. And then when I stopped and I decided I was going to plan my activities for that day. I use hour blocks. Sometimes, depending on the activities, I may use half-hour blocks. But I plan what I can do, and then that tells me what I'm capable of literally accomplishing in a day. And it also tells me who I need to ask for help, what help I need to accept, and what I need to delegate. And that is how we can help deal with overwhelm. So if right now you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling that you cannot get all that you need to get done, try these 3 tips. Ask for and accept help. Even if you don't ask and it's given, accept that help. Secondly, delegate what you personally do not have to do for yourself. And thirdly, plan. Plan for productivity and plan for success. I hope these tips really help you to deal with that feeling of overwhelm. And I really want to thank you for listening today. And remember, you were created to climb mountains and reach the top. You will learn, you will grow, you will succeed because you are an overcomer, you are a conqueror, and you are a winner. Thank you for stopping by, and see you again soon.